of the port land currently being considered was made in January 2013 by the port company.
Okay.
The company wrote to the acting chief executive of the council at the time, requesting that the council would sell the freehold interest in the port company. There had been previous discussions between the parties on the matter of the freehold. The original offer to buy the port business assets and property in 1990 included the freehold. The decision and transaction, and what's more, assurances were given at that time
in 1990.
that the freehold would eventually be available.
What the BCC said to the ports,
Yes.
right? And that was
The decision and transaction in 1991 was to transfer a 150-year lease with a right of preemption, a right for the port company to be offered the opportunity to buy the freehold before the council offers to sell it to any other party.
Yeah,
That's true.
There was an approach by the council chief executive to the port company concerning the freehold in 1997, and the possibilities was discussed between the parties periodically after that. Have you got supplementary?
so if it's the port who want to sell, and I can understand why they would want to sell, because it's
You mean to buy,
sorry.
to buy.
Yeah. The port want to buy the freehold because, like in the game of Monopoly, it means you have a lot more control, and also it's a better investment for investors. So if they're kind of desperate to, let's hope they're desperate to buy, why do you feel you cannot impose any restrictions such as what we're asking for the assurance for Henbury Loop?
Well, I may ask Robert Horry to, who negotiated the deal with them, or did the deal with them finally, as our head of property, to further explain. But I can tell you that any deal, any transaction has a price to it. And any condition on that deal has a price to it. And it's a matter of whether you want to get the maximum price or not. And
Or the
you
best
undermine the price by every condition. Simple as that.
Let's do it.
Okay, can I? I've got a second supplementary. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Do you want to add to that, Robert, or is that basically say what as it
No,
is?
I think that's some stuff.
Okay,
there.
but what's so special about 10 million then? I mean, why is it worth giving away the assurances on the Henbury Loop to get 10 million?
What's so special about 10 million? I don't know. 10 million to me seems a really good deal for buying something. Look, I got to tell you, 10 million to me seems a really good deal for buying the residual freehold on 127 years remaining on a lease that does not receiving 1 penny in terms of rent, is benefiting us in no way at all in either influence or money, would be only worth a few £100,000 to any third party buyer at the most, because I've had that advice. 10 million is a super price. That is without doubt. And anybody who tries to pretend otherwise is fooling themselves.
Am I allowed to come back on that?
No, that's your second.
Okay, well,
Sorry
I'm going to
about
walk
that.
out then. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank you.
Goodbye.
Well, thank you for everything you've done. Yeah, well, that's democracy, Tina.
Right. Thank you very much. And now we move on to statements from... No?
I've got another
We've
question.
got another question. Oh, Stephen Leyland. Stephen, I wouldn't have tried to leave you out. Have you got a supplementary question? Have you got my answer?
No.
Right.
Can I just...
Yours is a longer question, but mine is a shorter
From the
answer.
question first?
Sorry?
Can I reverse 2 lines from the question first?
2 lines.
Yeah. The first one, I allude to the 2012, the same year as the decision to revisit the matter, the decision to build a deep water canal across Nicaragua, which Mr. Orrick says rather disparagingly would have nothing to do with the price. And then I ask, explain why the valuation should not be revisited upwards, improved upwards, in proportion to those 2012 figures. to at least maximise the degree of discretionary benefits of helping to deliver the whip hand into the hand of the extortioner. And I include both.
Okay, I've allowed you to.
Yeah.
The summary.
So one more answer?
Well, the matters raised in both questions